Hello Fullerton neighbors, welcome to another segment of the Fullerton Observer Video Recap. My name is not Giselle Monterosa, and here are the headlines for this week. Rolling Hills Elementary School 6th grade class put on a production of The Sound of Music. And this production had parents and teachers split on whether or not it is an age-appropriate show because of the Nazi symbolism. John Dober, a Jewish person and musical lover living in Vienna in the 1960s, reflected on the dubbing of the musical The Sound of Music into German. They recounted how the audience laughed when the song Climb Every Mountain was translated as it seemed comical in an alpine country. However, when a character tore down a Nazi flag, the audience gasped, still living in fear and hatred stemming from the Nazi era. John argues that the musical can cause pain to some people, but removing the reality of Nazism and its symbols from the musical renders the story meaningless. The Sound of Music is presented as a sweet love story about a Catholic novitiate falling in love with a baron and his children. However, the underlying subplot explores the seduction of good people by the Nazi ideology. The story depicts a family standing against the Nazis and fleeing for their lives to Switzerland. John said that removing the symbols of Nazism, such as the swastika, and replacing them with innocuous symbols like rainbows or unicorns would be misleading. One Fullerton resident said, "The Sound of Music is not an appropriate musical for 6th graders to do. They and their younger siblings are too young to balance the glory of symbolists with the hate they embody." They continued and said, "I think the only appropriate way to do this play with young people is with context, conversations before and after to process the hate and pain brought out by the symbols of the Holocaust." One other Fullerton parent said, "It came to my attention last night that Rolling Hills Elementary has amended a production of The Sound of Music and is considering other musical cancellations because a parent objected to the presence of Nazis in the show. Moreover, the rumor is out there that other schools, including high schools, are going to be prohibited from performing particular shows based on parent objections. I'm horrified if that's true. Besides, the whole point to The Sound of Music centered around the tragedies of World War II. I feel that the insidious creep of censorship has reached Fullerton, and if we don't bring this ridiculous book burning to light, the students and the community will suffer." Council had the opportunity to improve travel safety on Associated Road at little or no cost at the May 16th City Council meeting. Instead, faced with opposition to the proposal, the council majority supported the status quo. Associated Road is scheduled to be resurfaced due to water main work and poor pavement towards the north. This provides the opportunity to reconfigure the street for greater safety, which the city engineer highly recommended. Currently, the road has 4 traffic lanes, a middle lane for turns, and 2 6-inch wide bike lanes. The staff-originated proposal for which direction was sought was to eliminate 2 traffic lanes, add parking, and widen the bicycle lanes. Property owners on the street were directly notified of this reconfiguration proposal, generated a lot of concern, mostly about parking and related issues. However, the city did not inform other stakeholders such as bicyclists and drivers throughout Fullerton. Nearly 200 messages on one thread were posted on Nextdoor, and council members undoubtedly received many more. In addition, many Nextdoor messages and statements at several public meetings opposed the initial proposal. This proposal included on-street parking, lane reduction, and a Class 4 bicycle lane between parked cars and the curb. The primary concern expressed was opposition to parking, with opponents concerned that it was unnecessary and would bring undesirable changes to the area, such as unhoused persons camping overnight. A secondary concern was that lane reduction would result in congestion and a less safe street, despite data showing that neither of these concerns were well-founded. 3 council members spoke to this issue. Shana Charles, whose district includes Associated Road, opposed the parking proposal and declared it dead. She continued to support staff analysis concerning safety and gridlock, but asked for more data to be presented at a future meeting. Bruce Whitaker spoke at length, emphasizing that he is a bicyclist and supports safe bicycling, but seemed to suggest that bicycling should only be on dedicated bike paths, since bike lanes on streets could be put towards better use, like mass transit and freight delivery. He dismissed bicycle advocates as a super minority trying to impose their values on most drivers. Nick Dunlap spoke briefly referencing an accident at Baston Cherry and Associated, which he said would have been worse if there were a bicycle lane there, even though there already is. His principal reason for opposition to this proposal was that the residents opposed it, even though only those property owners on the street had been notified. Thus, it could be said that the turnout at various city meetings has been dominated by those notified and those the city contacted. The Federal Highway Administration data indicates that well-designed streets with 2 lanes are safer and experience no more congestion than 4-lane streets, particularly for streets with under 20,000 daily trips. With vehicles count of 10,800 on Associated Road, it is currently below its potential congestion level. Irvine City Council majority decided to continue participation in the Orange County Power Authority at the May 23rd council meeting. Meanwhile, the Huntington Beach Council majority voted to leave on May 16th, and that was to take effect in July 2024. The actions follow numerous recent positive changes the agency made in response to negative audits. Those reforms include replacing the controversial CEO Brian Problowski, hiring a critical staff, appointing a secretary, improved transparency, a new marketing strategy, and RFPs for current career opportunities. The new interim CEO, Joe Mosca, has good credentials and experience with other community choice energy agencies. Recruitment for a permanent CEO still continues. Currently, the OCPA basic rate for electricity is 2% lower than SoCal Edison's basic rate. The OCPA pays homeowners with solar panels a net surplus compensation rate, which is 10% higher than SCE. During the May 16th council meeting, Mayor Jung, who's on the board of directors for the OCPA, agreed on staying with the OCPA due to lower utility costs and explained that this is much better for the people who participate in the OCPA, giving examples of restaurant owners and those with fixed incomes. Councilmember Charles expressed that staying with the OCPA seems like the better choice since we are in line to receive money down the line. However, Charles is surprised about the lack of information they were given about the costs. The next OCPA board meeting is Wednesday, June 21st, and you can visit the OCPA website, ocpower.org, for more information. That is all from the Fullerton Observer Video Recap. Be sure to follow all of our accounts on all our social medias. All the headlines mentioned are from the classic print edition, which can be mailed out to you every 2 weeks with a yearly subscription of only $39. And shout out to our Troy students Colin and Britany for editing and producing, and we'll recap again next time.